March 1922. A farm lost in the Bavarian countryside. Night falls, and a window glows in the attic, but no one should be up there. In the following days, 6 people vanish without a sound, without a witness. When the scene is discovered, one detail freezes the blood. Someone may have already been inside the house before the crime. The farm is called Hinterkaifeck. And what if the killer never left? Germany, 1922. Just after the war, the Hinterkaifeck farm is truly isolated, with no neighbors within a kilometer and no main road nearby. Just fields, a forest, and silence stretching in every direction. In this kind of place, every sound matters. A door slamming, footsteps on the floor, a creak in the attic here. You hear everything. And indeed, things were being heard in the days before it happened. It didn't start on the day of the crime. A few days before, the farmer reported strange things happening around the property. He heard sounds above his head, coming from the attic. So he went up to check, but found no one there. He noticed tracks in the snow leading to the farm that didn't lead back out. A key disappeared and then mysteriously reappeared. Tools were found out of place, moved by someone's hand. The maid refused to stay any longer and left in the middle of the night, saying she was afraid but never specifying of what. The farmer searched. He checked everywhere, but he found nothing concrete. Still, the feeling remained, that sensation of being watched in your own home. April 4th, 1922. Something's wrong. No one from the farm showed up at church or the market, and the little girl wasn't at school. That wasn't like this family at all. Neighbors decided to check on them. From a distance, the farm looked normal enough, but as they approached, the atmosphere shifted. Too much silence. No smoke rising from the chimney. No movement anywhere. They pushed open the barn door with a lantern in hand and called out. No answer came back. The cold bit at their skin, and wind whistled through the boards. And then they saw what had happened. They quickly understood something terrible had occurred. 6 people were gone, but this wasn't a simple burglary. The money was still there. The jewelry untouched, nothing had been stolen. And then there were the disturbing details that didn't make sense. The food on the table looked recent, as if someone had just eaten. The fire in the hearth had been fed and maintained. The animals had been cared for and fed regularly, even after the events took place. Someone had stayed in this farm and lived there for days, with the bodies just meters away. Someone had made themselves at home. This case is different because every clue raises a new question instead of providing answers. The attic becomes central to the mystery. The sounds heard before, the hatch that was found disturbed, the dust that had been displaced, all pointing to someone who could have hidden there, watched the family, and waited for the right moment. The motive doesn't fit any normal pattern. No money was stolen, which suggests this wasn't the reason. Whoever did this had knowledge of the place. They knew the farm's layout, the family's schedules and habits, where people slept, and where the tools were kept. The prolonged presence is what truly unsettles investigators. The animals were fed daily. The fire was maintained. Food was prepared. Someone stayed for several days without panic, without rushing to flee the scene. Even the investigation itself became compromised. Too many people walked through the scene, contaminating evidence. Leads were lost. Testimonies became confused. And every answer seemed to bring 3 new questions. 3 main hypotheses have emerged over the years, though none can fully explain what happened. The first theory suggests someone close to the family was responsible. Personal conflict, a dispute, or an act of revenge. This person would have known the farm intimately and had easy access. But it raises difficult questions. Why would they stay after committing the crime? Why take the enormous risk of being discovered there for days? The second theory points to an opportunistic intruder. The farm was isolated and easy to watch from a distance. Perhaps a passing criminal saw an opportunity, struck quickly, and planned to leave. But this theory struggles with the details. Why would someone feed the animals and maintain the property? Why stay for several days when it's far too risky? And the material motive is weak, since nothing valuable was taken. The third theory is perhaps the most unsettling. What if someone had hidden on the property before the event, specifically in the attic, where those sounds were heard? They could have settled there without being seen, waiting and listening, learning the family's routine over days or even weeks. Then, when the moment was right, they acted. This would explain the warning signs, the feeling of being watched, everything. But how do you prove it? The theory relies on testimonies and impressions, rather than solid physical evidence. Over 100 years later, this case still affects us deeply. Why does it continue to haunt our imagination? Because it touches something universal, that primal fear of being in your home and not being alone. The sensation of a presence nearby, hearing a sound that shouldn't be there, checking and finding nothing, but still knowing, just knowing something isn't right. That attic window, lit in the darkness of night, who was up there watching? How long had they been there? The investigation never reached a conclusion. No one was ever arrested, and the leads eventually went cold. But the question remains and refuses to fade away. How long did this person watch the family? How long did they wait in that attic before acting? And perhaps most disturbing of all, how long did they stay after? Hinterkaifeck farm. 6 victims. No culprit ever found. But there's one certainty that remains. Someone was there in the attic, hidden in the shadows. Someone who knew every corner of that house, every creaking floorboard, every habit and routine of the family living below them. What if the most terrifying thing about this case isn't what happened, but that whoever did it had all the time in the world?